What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jake here, aka BrusHstroKeZ, and today is the second part of our Battle of the Boards by Indasa video. We're going to be clear coating the panel. If you didn't see the first video, we did some metal grind to it. I'll put a link to that right up here in the corner. If you missed that, you can just click this link and go right to it. But second step, we're just going to be laying some clear coat. I'm going to be using PAINTKULT 2104. I'm going to be using some medium reducer and some medium hardener and medium reducer. My booth typically stays right around 70 degrees. And we're going to be using my newest gun, which is an Iwata W-300. Now this is an awesome gun. I've only used it a few times. I did get the UV edition just because I wanted the cool black chrome and the black cap and button and knobs here. After getting this, these knobs are coated and they are a little bit harder to get in here. I wish I would have just got the regular version, but if anyone's wanting to get this gun, I suggest the regular. This is the W-300wb, so it's basically a water-based gun, except for it works for anything, and it works awesome. So, and that comes with like a blue in the regular chrome, like this, the regular Iwata chrome, not the black chrome. And then it has like the blue cap on it as well. I'll leave a link down below to this one and the regular version of it. I did get the 1.2 tip for this. And this does have the split nozzle. I think that's what makes a huge difference in these guns. Talk a little bit more about this at the end of the video after I use it and you get to see it. The reason I got it, it runs off low CFM and I have a small compressor, so this works excellent with it. I think it's between 6 and 7 CFM, so this will work with a lot of your smaller compressors. Like I have a 30-gallon compressor, mine runs like 6 something CFM, so this gun works great with my compressor. So go ahead and get some clear mixed up. I already put the clear in here. And if anyone's looking for disposable spray cups, these are the ones I suggest. Spray IQ. They just come with in quite a few different sizes. I've got the 6-ounce here, and this is like I think a 13-ounce. But it comes with these nice measuring scale. Like each one has 10 and 20% for reducers. It's got 1 part, 1.5, 2, and then it's got all sorts of mixed ratios too. 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 5 to 3, 6 to 1, 7 to 1. And they work great. They don't leak at all. I've had 0 issues with these. I did accidentally order the wrong size filter for these. These come in a 190, which this is, and then a 125, which is the blue top. 125, the smaller the number of microns, the finer it is. But these work fine for clear coat and basically everything, so no issues. I just prefer the finer strainers just because they get out more particles basically. So if you can see, we've got this filled up to the 1.5. So we're going to want to go to the 1.5 with our hardener. There we go. And then 2104, this is like, I think 54% solids. So I notice when I don't reduce it, it does kind of get some orange peely. So I like to reduce it about 10%. And depending on how the finish is after the second coat, if it's still a little peely, orange peely, I will add just like a splash of reducer, maybe an extra 5% to the very last coat, like my third coat of clear. And that helps to level it out even better. So, all right. Well, I might want to mix this up first. Don't forget to mix it up, like I almost just did. That's why I don't do a ton of videos when I'm working on important stuff. I tend to forget stuff trying to focus on the video. So I'm going to finish getting this stirred up, and I'll bring you back as soon as I'm down in the booth. All right, so we're down in the booth now. Got my clear loaded up in my gun. So as far as the gun goes, the knob, the fluid knob. So, well, let's first start out with the fan. I always keep the fan wide open, and always keep the air wide open as well. The only thing I typically adjust when I'm painting is the fluid control. Now, this does go almost five full turns in and out. So when I say halfway, that'd be roughly 2.5 turns on this gun. So with my first coat of clear, I usually do run almost every gun only half fluid. So we're at 2.5 turns on this. And then as far as air pressure goes, when I clear, I like to be in the 30 to 35 range, no matter what gun it is. So depending on whatever the gun calls for. But we're going to go ahead and put this split tip to tests. Go ahead and get my respirator on here, and we'll get started with the first coat of clear. Alright, now before I do get started, I just want to mention that I did clean this panel probably like 5 to 7 times, just until my microfiber didn't have any dirt on it. When you're doing any bare metal stuff, it's best to clean it a ton of times, because all those little metal grind scratches are going to have a little bit of dirt in them, so make sure you thoroughly clean your panels before you paint them. So let's get started. Alright, so we've got our first coat down. I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for probably like 13, 15 minutes. We'll let this flash off. I do like to let my first coat flash off a little bit longer. It gives it some time for it to level out more as well, too. That way we can get a better finish in the end. Just want to show you my little prep room for those of you that are new to the channel. Here's my little homemade booth in my basement. Made a little prep area here with a shelf that's closer to eye level, so when I'm mixing stuff down here, I don't have to bend way down to see the mixing levels. Keep it right up here. Typically wear some goggles to protect my glasses from getting overspray on them, but here's my little booth. Just got some 20-inch house furnace filters down here, just some cheapies, and then I got some 14 by 20s up here. So that's my inlet for my booth. And then I've got two hog farm fans up in here that are both like 2000 CFM. So all right, we'll come back and video second and third coat for you. All right, so like I often do, I did forget to hit record on the second coat on this. If you did notice, after that first coat, or during that first coat, I bumped my pressure up to 35 psi. So second coat, I left it there, 35 psi. I liked the finish it was giving me. That second coat, I did open my fluid up another turn, or half a turn, to 3 turns out or 2 turns in on this gun. Now this one I'm going to do another half a turn out, so I'll be at 3.5 turns out or 1.5 turns in. I'm going to keep my air pressure at 35 psi. Just wanted to show you the finish that I'm getting so far. It's laying pretty flat. Really love that split nozzle on this gun. So I'm going to get masked up and we'll get this third coat sprayed. All right, so it is the next day. This thing's dried almost 24 hours or so. I just wanted to show you the finish that the W-300wb gun gives me. You check out the reflections of these lights. You can see there's very minimal to no orange peel at all. Gun works effortlessly. Really love that split tip on the gun. Really highly recommend the gun. It is quite pricey, almost $500, but in my eyes, it's well worth it. It's basically like a full-sized LPH-80 to me. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Next video, we'll show you the next steps in completing the process of my Battle of the Board submission. So until then, keep those brushes stroking.